What's up, guys? Welcome back to another one. So yeah, before we begin, I want to read something for you here quickly. So this video I want to talk about the law of detachment. So starting off with this, I found what it basically means on Google, and what it's telling me is that the law of detachment in a spiritual context, often associated with the 7 spiritual laws of success, encourages releasing obsessive feelings and expectations about desires while maintaining faith in the outcome, ultimately leading to a sense of wholeness and purpose. Okay, so what does this basically mean? What I can deduce from here, what I can basically sum up what it's trying to tell me is that, there are times where we want to be in a certain level. There are things where we need this, by 2 years from now, I want to have my own business. 5 years from now, I want to graduate. All these things. So you have to release that obsessive feeling. This doesn't mean you must stop. Like, there's a difference between manifesting, having it in your mind, and also being so obsessed that you just can't stop thinking about it, and you are just like a feeling, an obsessive one, that even when things don't go your way, you are already bummed out, you are angry, you are sad. You understand? So it's that thing of like just trusting, just letting go of the outcome and trusting it. Let go and trust. Letting go and trusting God is where you let go of the outcome of the results, and just trust in the process. You understand? So let me tell you guys a short story about me. And I'm glad this happened. Yesterday when I was at the rugby practice, I didn't really show up much like I usually do. I didn't give it 100%. And so I was now making a few mistakes, because I know I was even shocked, because when I practice, I don't make mistakes. When I make mistakes, I fix them immediately. But this was consistently making mistakes, and everybody was even shocked, because they saw that that's not how I perform, that's not how I practice, But now I realized something. All I had to do was just let go of the outcome, because I know people, like what people expect from me, and what I also expect from myself, and that even when I make a mistake, I'm already hard on myself, and that's what I suffer with. So I thought I should share it with you guys that, look, we need to let go of how we feel, that obsessive feeling, So me, basically in rugby, I want to be the best, I want to be at the highest level, the highest peak in terms of rugby. But how will I get there if I do not even learn to embrace and cherish my mistakes? How will I get there if I care about what everyone thinks? How will I get there if somebody basically will tell me, will pick out my mistakes and my wrongdoings, but they will not congratulate me on my rights, on my wins? So I had a game last week, and I had a few errors in my position, like my lineouts, So it's basically my requirements, the position requirements. But I did basics like tackling, carrying balls, cleaning, helping my teammates, communicating, and most importantly my scrum. I did 5 things right, But that one thing that I was sort of failing to do, even though the weather was against me, the lineouts. Most people that I met were telling me about the lineouts. A lot of people, yeah, your lineouts. What's wrong? How do you throw it? Only one guy out of like 20 people told me, Kucha, oh, you tackled nice. You were carrying nice. You were really tackling. You were showing that Chase he saw. You took on the guy when he came to you. You didn't show the thing that you were afraid. Only one guy congratulated me. The rest were just negative. You understand? And that is where I learned that, man, if people can find, it's human nature, if they can find your negative, should you really listen to these people when all they find is the wrong things that you do? You understand? Why should you lose sleep over them? So what I'm saying is that, look guys, be careful who you listen to, first of all, and observe, why is this person always taking up my bedside? But when I do good, they forget, they throw it away. I really wish they would have recorded that game, then I would have maybe played that game like short videos, short clips of me in this video, but unfortunately, maybe it was the weather or something. Anyways, I know I had a very good game, but just because of that one error, then people are telling me they're defining my game based on that error, but they fail to forget the other five things that I got right. And that is how human nature is. That is why what I want to advise from you is that detach from what people think of you. Remove, stop caring about what they think, and if you have a certain level that you want to be, fall in love with the process. Remove that obsessive feeling about the outcome. Guys, I was there. I was like, when I kill farming, I will do this, I will do that. Now when things don't go my way, when I'm suffering for 2 years, when I had to use my last money to install water at my plot, when I had to use that last money to sacrifice to install water at my plot and buy medicines and food for my goats, and my brother's kettles. And this didn't go my way. What now? What can I do? You understand? So that is it, guys. You have to, when you master the law of detachment, it's like you just remove yourself from the outcome. If things don't go your way, you're okay with it. Do you understand? You don't worry too much, you don't stress about it, because you know that it is part of the process. It has to be this way. Look, even though I had a bad practice yesterday, I'm gonna be honest, I'm living my dream. I'm living a prayer that I used to pray to God every time. I'm living an answered prayer. I'm in the spotlight. I am playing. I am wearing number 2, my jersey that I finally wanted to wear, that other clubs I failed to wear. And now I'm playing, I'm wearing it. And not only that, okay, fine, I had one bad practice, but there's still 3 more practice to look forward to for the next games. Is it doesn't practice basically, because there are basically 6 games left in the league, basically 6 games left. So because of one bad practice, must I let that bad practice define me for the rest of the season? Must I find a way to fix it? I'm gonna go with fixing it and just removing myself from the outcome. Look, most people are designed this way. People, they put their garbage on you. It's just what they know. Sometimes they feel like they will come from a good place, but I'm gonna be honest with you, that's not the case. So what they will do is that they will try to, they have been told that by maybe their fathers or how they've been raised, they will try to put it on you. This person thinks that is helping you, but it's now putting you down, demoralizing you. Those are the people you don't listen to. I want you to be deaf, guys. Okay, let me give you a story about 3 frogs now. So there were 3 frogs that were trying to climb. They were like climbing they were trying to climb like a wall, right? And then there were other frogs on top of the wall. The first frog, he was being told by his former peers, yeah, you won't make it, give up, what, you will not climb this wall, it's too high for you. And what did the first frog do? He listened and he stopped. The second one was now trying. Yes, no, you won't make it happen. Give up. You see what the first frog, it gave up. Why can't you also give up? And then guess what? The second frog also gave up. And then the third frog, he just kept climbing. They kept talking. Yeah, the other 2 frogs, they failed. What makes you special that you're gonna climb this thing, that you're gonna win? He just kept climbing, and finally climbed. When all of the frogs, they were curious, they were wondering, why did this third frog climb? While the other 2 frogs, they listened and they stopped. Guess what? The third frog was deaf. It was basically deaf. It could not hear sound. And he just kept climbing and finally it reached. So that's my advice to you guys. I want you to be like that third frog. I want you to be deaf to their words, to what they think, to what they say. I want you to be deaf to negativity. Starve that thing. They say if you want to kill something, you should starve it to death. Don't give it the time of day. That is basically it, guys. You need to starve it. You need to be deaf like that frog and stop listening to their words. If somebody will be negative for you, that means there's something that they see. They see you making it happen. You understand? So yeah, guys, this is basically the law of detachment. Let me keep this one short and simple. It's all about letting go of the outcome and just working on yourself and just finding a way to go through it and just falling in love with the process, let go of the results, let go of the outcome, how it's gonna work, and just fall in love with the process, and that's how you become better. Okay guys, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers everyone.